money and get your red voice. Come on, save some money and get your red voice. Save some money, call your family, keep your number, call everybody. Come on, call your mama and give her red voice. Come on, call your daddy and give him red voice. Call your brother, and your Grammy, call your cousin, and your auntie. Now everyone's got a choice, and we all know it's red voice for every woman and man all around our homeland.
Switch to Red Voice for Hamaland, and now you can keep your number. You could win your mortgage and utilities for a full year. Red Voice, the better choice.
Get your red voice.
A little boy killed in a hit-and-run accident. Police search for the driver of that vehicle. The family of Margot Archer reacts to amendments to the Child Protection Act and the Sexual Offenses Act. Will BEC workers be getting Christmas bonuses this year? Plus, find out why police were called to a public school this morning. We've got those stories and a whole lot more tonight. I'm Monique Toot, and NB12 starts now. Topping news tonight, a young boy was struck and killed by a Jeep on St. Vincent Road early this morning as his mother pushed him in a stroller. Police say the 26-year-old woman is in critical condition tonight, and the driver of the vehicle that struck them has still not come forward. Candia Dames reports.
This early morning accident has left a mother in hospital, a child dead, a community saddened, and police searching for the driver who failed to stop. Police say around 6 a.m., the woman was pushing the child in a stroller going in an easterly direction on St. Vincent Road when they were struck by a vehicle traveling west along the busy road.
The mother received severe injuries and was taken to hospital via ambulance. The child, unfortunately, was dragged a short distance and succumbed to his injuries. The driver did not stop. We, at this moment, are appealing to the driver of that vehicle. We are hearing and understand that the vehicle might be a dark Explorer. We are appealing to the driver, whether you are male or female, to turn yourself into police immediately, without delay. It's an innocent child that has been struck, no fault of the child. We are asking members of the public who might have been passing the area and residents alike to please contact police immediately with any details, immaterial to how small the details might be, to contact us immediately so we can bring justice to this family and resolve this matter.
On the scene, police collected what they said were bits and pieces of evidence as mortuary officials removed the child's body from the scene and carried it away. Police said the child looked to be between 3 and 5 years old. Police collected the child's shoes and backpack from the scene as area residents and passers-by looked on in apparent shock. One man told us he witnessed the accident and saw the dark-colored vehicle speed off.
I was just cleaning my car. I was a lady coming up walking with a stroller with the baby. I watched her stop once, like she's fixing something on the wheel. And she walked a couple of feet again, and she stopped again. When she stopped, the car, brown Explorer, come and just knock and didn't stop. Knock and didn't stop.
Wow, what did you see after that point?
Well, I jumped my wall and went across. I hear her making noise underneath the car, but I was looking for the baby. When I walked down, I saw the baby in the road, wasn't moving.
So you saw her making noise where?
She was underneath the car. We actually bounced the car, the left off from underneath the car.
What car?
The same car.
Oh, this car parked on the side of the road.
That's mine.
And the baby was down the street.
Baby's down the street.
What went through your mind when you saw that?
Yes, I get a 2-year-old son too, and that's my next little boy job. All I could do is just hold him and say, wow, because that's senseless, man.
Was he dead already?
Dead. The first thing I said when I said to myself, when I see her walking before all this happened, I say, know something? But some people really have it hard now because she walking, trying to struggle to get to work or wherever she can, 6 o'clock in the morning. That's heartless, man.
The witness said the driver never slowed down but sped off and turned onto a nearby street, disappearing from view. St. Vincent Road is a very busy thoroughfare. Police are once again appealing to motorists to slow down. Reporting for NB12, I'm Candia Dames.
The mother of 11-year-old Marco Archer held her composure in the House of Assembly this morning as parliamentarians debated amendments to the Child Protection Act and Sexual Offenses Act. The amendments come more than 2 years after the boy's murder. Christina McNeil has his family's reaction to those amendments and what relatives hope will be Marco's legacy.
More than 2 years after Marco Archer was killed, his family today expressing relief that his life was not in vain. His sister telling our news team that the family felt the need to stand up for the rights and protection of all children in the Bahamas.
Gives us some comfort in knowing that Marco's death was not in vain, that his death in the end helped to implement laws in our country, or a law in our country that will help protect our children's innocence and their lives. We are happy to know that, his life is not in vain.
Marco's eldest sister, Tanisha Humes, maintains that Marco was a sacrifice to save the lives of other children. Marco went missing on September 23, 2011. His decomposing body was discovered in the rear of a western New Providence apartment days later. On August 2, 2013, Kofi Goodman was found guilty of Marco's murder, and he has been sentenced to death for that murder. Since losing Marco, his family has taken the lead, advocating for an alert program for missing children and a sexual offenders registry. Hume says she hopes the amendments to the legislation can provide comfort for the families that have lost children and those children who have survived sexual abuse.
We were put in a situation where we couldn't have done anything. We didn't know where he was. Everywhere we went, we wasn't successful. We couldn't find him, and we felt handicapped. And then persons came to us and they were telling us, this person who lived two doors down the road, was a pedophile. And then we were checking. It was like a lot of things came to our knowledge when Marco went missing, and we just didn't know where he was. The point was that we wanted to find him. The only thing that we could have found some comfort in doing is making sure that if it was to happen again, something could be done. At least you could know who house to go knock on. At least when you see someone facing you in the area, you know how to act and who to go directly to if a child goes missing. So that was the only thing that we could have done, because we couldn't save his life. We didn't know where he was. So the only thing we could have given was that, to say that Marco died. But then again, it brings awareness to us too in this country that all of this is happening.
As National Security Minister Dr. Bernard Nottage led the debate, he recalled the search for Marco back in 2011 and how the ordeal affected him personally. He also acknowledged that it was Marco's family who pushed for changes to the laws relating to child protection and sexual offenses.
The family wanted to use Marco's name, or they recommended using Marco's name in establishing whatever it was we were going to do. And we then started talking about Marco's Law, because our idea at the time was that we would have to create a new law for this purpose. Mrs. Humes, his sister, wrote me the letter. Marco's Law, and Marco meant mandatory action for rescuing children operation. Marco, that's where it came from.
Nottage says the Marco alert will cause immediate action once a child is reported missing, rather than cause a family to wait 24 to 48 hours for action. He adds that it is the responsibility of parliamentarians to secure and protect the country's citizens, especially children. Reporting for NB12, I'm Christina McNeil.
Reduced spending and higher revenue collections outlined at the start of the fiscal year are paying off for the Christie administration. That's according to the central bank's most recent Economic and Financial Development Report. State Finance Minister Michael Halkitis tabled the report, which revealed that the country's deficit was reduced by nearly one-half in the first quarter of the 2013-2014 fiscal year.
Specifically, the deficit was reduced by almost one-half. Yes. From a level of $144 million to $78 million for the first quarter of this year. The bulk, Mr. Speaker, of this $66 million improvement primarily reflected a $58 million reduction in total expenditure.
Halkitis also noted that total revenue during the first quarter of the fiscal year increased by almost $9 million to over $305 million. Executive Chairman of the Bahamas Electricity Corporation, Leslie Miller, and Acting Prime Minister Philip Davis today responding to concerns that BEC staff bonuses may be canceled this year. Yesterday, Bahamas Electrical Workers Union President Stefano Green said the union heard reports that bonuses would be deferred until next year. Today, Miller said a decision was tentatively made to defer the $1.4 million in bonuses for all staff, as the corporation lost $22.6 million over the past 12 months. But he noted that Green's reported comments that staff would have to rob if they don't get their bonuses were callous and should not be taken lightly.
The corporation is owned by the Bahamian people. If you're losing $22.6 million, there's no such thing as which you cannot do. That money doesn't belong to the union. That money belongs to the Bahamian people. Okay? And Green need to wake up to a new reality. It is unfortunate he's made that statement, but he will now live with that statement. That if you don't pay me, even though everybody's been paid, BEC is only obligated, they pay your salary, That's the obligation of the Bahamian people. And this year alone, 44 persons at BEC has made more than 100% of their salary in overtime. That is unacceptable in any country in this world. So, we'll see what happens between now and Friday.
Meantime, the acting prime minister who has responsible for BEC says it's unfortunate that the decision will be made so close to the time when workers would have expected that payout. Miller and Davis say a final decision on those bonuses will be made soon. Still to come, the bodies of Haitian nationals remain at the morgue weeks after that Haitian boat tragedy. The details of that story and more on the other side of the break.